my number one favorite anime girl, that is Shinobu Kocho. And I have watched every single season of Demon Slayer multiple times. Season 1, the movie. Season 2, which is technically just the movie. Season 3 with Tengen. Season 4 with Tokito and Mitsuri as the main people. And then Season 5, which is the Hashira training arc. And now with the Demon Slayer movies coming out later this year, it's going to be a very important thing to talk about and basically give you my explanation of why I think this. So what we're going to be talking about today is going to be my favorite anime girl, Shinobu Kocho. Now, the reason why I say we're going to be talking about Shinobu Kocho in this video is because I want to explain to you guys, because Demon Slayer doesn't have that many girls. I'm not even going to lie. We have Shinobu, we have Aoi, we have Tengen's 3 wives, we have Kano, we have Nezuko, we have Shinobu, we have Kane, who's already dead, and we have Tamayo. Now, if I had to say this I'd probably say there are like 3 best girls in Demon Slayer. And I believe that Shinobu Kocho is the best girl in Demon Slayer, and I'm going to give you my exact reasoning for why she is the best girl in Demon Slayer. Now, when it comes to her, let's not forget that we have not seen her fight against Upper Moon 2. That should be coming out in the movie later this year. But one other thing I also wanted to say is that if you guys watch the Hashira training arc, she went to go help Miss Tamayo develop something that can help the fight against Muzan. And I've read the manga. The manga set is literally what I'm using to record right now on my tripod. And I've read the manga. She plays one of the biggest parts in helping defeat Muzan and Kitsubushi. And it's just the fact that a lot of people look at Shinobu, it's just like, oh, she can't cut off the head of Demon Slayer. She's small. She's not that strong. She doesn't get her mark. So what? She has other ways of doing this. She is literally one of the best Demon Slayer characters in terms of, like, I would say story writing, even though, like, her whole point is just basically, like, living for revenge. She wants to get revenge on the demon that ended up killing her sister, which was Doma. And she ends up fighting Doma in the Upper Moon battle before Upper Moon 2 takes on Kano and Nosuke, and basically, I think Yushiro also did help in that as well. But it just really looks at me as like, I look at the people talking down on Shinobu, and I can see the people talking about Mitsuri. Mitsuri's battle against Upper Moon 4, like, she was hanging on against Hatengu and everything like this. We gotta remember that even though she wasn't putting up a fight against Upper Moon 2, she still was one of the fastest Hashiras that Upper Moon 2 has ever saw. And if you read the manga, he literally says, wow, you are one of the fastest Hashiras I've ever met. And this is one of the biggest reasons why. To get a compliment like that from Upper Moon 2, who is only third best to Muzan and Kokushibo, that's just fucking amazing. And even though she didn't really put up that much of a fight against Upper Moon 2, she still did try her very fucking best. And if it wasn't for Shinobu, let's not forget this. If it wasn't for her, Upper Moon 2 wouldn't be dead. Upper Moon 2 would not be dead. Kano would be dead. Inosuke probably be dead. And then the other Hashira would have to deal with Doma while still also having to deal with Muzan. And even though Doma is like not like the strongest mindset when it comes to the Upper Moons, he's still one of the very strongest. So imagine the Hashiras and Tanjiro still had to deal with Doma as well as Muzan after defeating Akaza, after defeating Kokushibo. That'd be a pain, especially with Doma's Demon Slayer art, Blood Demon art, which is, gotta say this, cryokinesis is one of the best, like, Blood Demon arts to have. Like, it literally messes with you. Like, it literally messes with you, like, how your heart is, and it literally messes with you personality-wise. So to give Shinobu that, I love to see that. And Shinobu was a big part of the reason why they defeated Upper Moon 2, because she literally had a plan from the moment she told Kano, like, she said in the Hashira training arc, we're going to talk about a plan about me defeating Upper Moon 2. Us defeating Upper Moon 2. And she said, if need be, I will sacrifice myself to kill Upper Moon 2. And that is exactly what she did. She sacrificed herself. she got absorbed by Upper Moon 2, and with her having 1,000 times the normal amount of wisteria inside her body, ended up decomposing Doma enough for Kano and Inosuke to be able to behead the demon. And after beheading the demon, Doma, like I said, is not the strongest mentality-wise. He didn't think of regrowing his head, so he just died like that. So Shinobu, even though she did sacrifice herself, she did have the biggest part of the reason why Upper Moon 2 was defeated. And then we get on into the battle against Muzan. And let's say Muzan he was going against, everybody was going against him, and he was putting up a good fight. Let's not forget, this fight went until morning. But ultimately, it was the third or fourth drug that Tamiyo and Shinobu had come up with that started to slowly kill Muzan, able to be able to give him long enough. And then when he got defeated, then eventually took over Tanjiro's body, and Tanjiro became Demon King. It was still that big part of the reason why Shinobu and Tamiyo were able to help defeat Muzan. And a big part of the reason why the Hashiras were able to defeat Muzan and all the demons were ended up being killed was those two right there. If we're really talking about two of the most important female characters in the Demon Slayer story, it's Tamiyo and it's Shinobu. And obviously, we still have Nezuko, who is still a big, the whole main part of the reason story, because Tanjiro's whole thing is I want to turn my sister back into a human, which he eventually does. But without the help of those two characters, Shinobu and Tamiyo, the Demon Slayer world will still be going, Muzan will still be alive, and I'm pretty sure all the Hashiras and Tanjiro would be dead at this point right now, because Muzan with Doma and Kokushibo still there, and even Akasa's still there, is crazy. Shinobu literally, I just can't explain enough. I'm reading this and then seeing the stories and then knowing what's going to happen, it actually makes me very excited, because obviously I very much do love Shinobu. She's my favorite anime character in general from the anime world. And just being able to see how much she has done for Demon Slayer story, and knowing that I've read all the books and know what she has done for the story of Demon Slayer, it just has me excited, because I believe that when the movie comes out later this year, people are going to be able to see how much of a important story Shinobu is. And even over the course of the next two movies, we're going to be able to see how big of a part she played in the story, and that when the final part comes and the final story ends, people can start to realize, people can actually, judge the series as a whole and all the female characters in Demon Slayer and be like, yeah, in terms of one of the best female characters in the Demon Slayer story, Shinobu definitely deserves to be up there as a mention for Best Girl.